Oh my God. It's dripping. All right, guys, welcome back to Soai. And in this video series, we're going to be doing quite a few things. For me, a couple new things. For example, right now I'm heading to Washington, D.C. on Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy holidays. By the time I post this video, it might be New Year's. So Happy New Year's to you guys as well. You guys know I like to travel, check out new spots. I've never been to Washington, D.C., and that's the nation capital. So I'm looking forward to going there, checking out a couple stops, and also, trying some new foods over there. I heard about this, I think it's Ben's Chili Bowl that like all the presidents go there and to have that. So I'm interested in trying that. For me, trying different foods is not just about trying foods. I like to cook as well, so it gives me more experience and exposure to different flavors. So yeah, it's my first time traveling during Christmas. Like I've traveled to the US or other countries during the holidays, like before Christmas, but we're actually traveling on Christmas Day. Yeah, we're maybe like an hour or so before we get into Washington, D.C. I'm super excited because this is not one of my usual kinds of trips, but I think that's something that is good for anyone to do. Break out of your shell, have new experiences. So I'll catch you guys possibly at the hotel. All right, guys, so just got into the hotel. DC is kind of cold. Not as cold as New York right now, but it's kind of cold. Had conversations with the Lyft driver. Got a few recommendations that I'm at least going to check out one of them. It's surprising that he mentioned 2 Michelin star restaurants. I'm like, wow, seems like there's a lot in Washington, D.C. Now, where I'm staying at is the Hilton. Funny enough, the room doesn't have any fridge. It's kind of strange. You have to request that. I thought hotels would have fridges in like every single room, and then have to go downstairs to get the microwave, because I did bring food, some rice and peas and some stewed chicken, because it's a late night train, so I'm like, why not? But yeah, tomorrow, definitely gonna be checking out some places. The museum is on the list, but there's some pretty interesting food places. Funny enough, I've never really heard much about the movement of food here in DC, so I'm interested to find that out. If you guys have any recommendations, drop in the comments. Hopefully the next time I'm here, I can check them out. But I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, good morning, guys. Yeah, cold morning. My bones feel cold as hell. But out here checking out the Washington Memorial. So it's like this monument that was built for the first president of America, Washington. Yeah, so that's basically it. I'm out here with my favorite tour guide, Mo. So you've been to Washington D.C. a couple times.
Yes, I come every year faithfully to check out at least one museum. For the last about 3 years, I've been checking out the African American History Museum and just doing one level each time, and I have loved it every time.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
Yes.
I'm not really a museum goer, to be honest, but yeah, I'm on the quest to try it, not just check out just food. I think probably sometime today I'm gonna try to go to a food spot, but in my downtime I'm actually gonna check out a couple things. So you mentioned about the African Museum. You said it was like so much information that you had to process it year after year.
Yeah.
So you take steps.
Yeah, it's multiple levels. The very first level on the lower part, they usually say start with that one, and there's so much information and just so much to go through. It's impossible to do the entire museum in a day. There's also a really delicious cafe in there that has traditional African American like soul food dishes and stuff like that. So you can eat there, just take a look around. There's just so much information to take in. You really want to read it and just dive in, and yeah, it's so great.
Hopefully too, I'm gonna check out a couple, what's it called again, Ethiopian spots. Yeah, I want to check out some Ethiopian food and stuff. But as we were walking here this morning, we had like a deeper conversation about just like, because we were walking past the White House.
Yes.
And I kid you not, it's my first time walking past the White House, and I felt, it felt powerful. I ain't gonna lie, it felt like a very powerful place. You could tell like it was a very important spot, the police outside and stuff. And I'm from a third world country where, we're small island, nice people, we're developing. But, in America, we always hear a bunch of different things like, it's just like there's issues here. And I was asking you, like, what do you consider like the issues that are here? I mean, the looming thing is about like, immigrants.
Yeah.
That's been a huge talking point.
Yes.
But let's take our eye off the immigrants. I'm talking about the things that are, because you being American, what is the, you think that is like a social thing that you guys could work on as Americans, like the issues that you guys have here?
So 2 things I mentioned. The first being hunger. We're a first world country. However, there are so many people dealing with hunger throughout the nation. Even in our schools, there are children who depend on the meals that they get right in the school every day. The parents don't have enough to feed the entire family. So I think hunger is something that we should be addressing. We also need to address healthcare. There are people out there who don't have access to healthcare. Unfortunately, they have to use the emergency room as their support system sometime, or they may not even go in.
Because you can't get turned away if you go to the emergency room. I learned that.
Yeah. So usually there's a clause that they won't turn you away. However, somebody has to foot the bill. And if the person doesn't have the money, eventually the taxpayers will pay.
I know most people would say like it's mostly the immigrants. Would you say that us also Americans as well have that issue?
Absolutely. There are a lot of Americans out there who don't have access to healthcare because simply it's really expensive. I've met in my line of work, I've met people who have to choose between, am I going to get food? Am I going to pay for my medication, or do I want to go get healthcare? And they'll choose to get their food and medication first before going to see their doctor for their annual visit because it's just such a toss-up. It's really expensive. I've even met people who plan out their finances so that they can just go to the doctor once a year and everything they can do at that one time. Because, again, it's just so expensive. So we really need a better healthcare system that address the low income, no income population, even those who are middle income, because you could be making enough money to pay your bills and just the minimum of paying your bills. But what about buying food and clothing and then healthcare? So I think that's something we really need to address. There are other countries that are doing far better, I think, in terms of that. So we need to address it.
Yeah, that's pretty deep if you ask me. I know some of you guys tend to like watching the videos because I'm doing something about like food. It's food related and it's fun. But I think I'm a lot deeper than just food and just laughing and just Jamaican rivers and stuff like that. For the time I'm here, definitely trying to learn as much. I tell people this, like when you come to a different country, especially as a yard man, you don't come here just to live here or to enjoy here. You come here to gain knowledge about how they operate their country. So when we go back to Jamaica, we can put in some of these, the good practices. You see what I'm saying? So that we can also develop our own country. It's just like just now we went to have some Starbucks. This is funny. We went to have some Starbucks just now. And you got like a white chocolate coffee. No, white chocolate, hot chocolate. I got a mocha. And she came outside and she was just like, yo, it's not hot enough. I'm like, all right, go back in. Went back in, they remade the entire thing and gave it to her. And I was like, that ain't happening back home, bro. It's not happening back home. When you think about it, it's customer service, which is something that for us in the Caribbean, we need to work on. You know what I'm saying? Somebody spent $5 on something that don't cost nothing near to it. If they're not satisfied, let's remake it. Anyway, I'm not gonna bore you guys with much of these because I'm taking all of the boredom for you guys. I know.
My earmuffs?
No, I actually like the earmuffs. I'm gonna take in as much of the museum and stuff like that, get all the information as I can. If anything interesting pops up, I'll share with you, but then I'll show you like an interesting food spot. Ben's is on my list. I hear like a lot of the presidents go there, the famous people. If we don't do it today, I'm gonna take you guys tomorrow, but there's gonna be something interesting with food here. All right, guys. So we are in Sweet Home Cafe. That's in the African American Museum, basically. And while I was in there, like I learned a lot of things about not just the music industry, but like food, things like that. And I thought to myself, if you're trying to sell the history of food, maybe you can make it very well. So we're at the Sweet Home Cafe right now, and I got something that's pretty, I would say, typical to soul food. I have a buttermilk fried chicken. I think I make a very good fried chicken, but I'm very open to try different versions of it, and this is a buttermilk. The batter looks super crispy, and I have cornbread here. Funny enough, I love cornbread. Going to high school, we would have cornbread at a particular time of day, at a particular day in the week, so it's a staple for me even growing up in Jamaica. Some butter with that, and then mac and cheese. I really wanted to get collard greens, but yeah, the mac and cheese was what they had. There were other collard greens. And you got some. Man, we don't even want to see your plate because you started eating already. This plate looked messed up, but
Pulled pork with cornbread.
I have to be honest, it doesn't look appetizing.
It's good.
It doesn't look appetizing, but she said it's good. And I got mambo sauce. So mambo sauce is like a sauce that's pretty much known in Washington D.C. It's a pretty popular sauce here. I've never tried it before. I have no clue what it tastes like. So without further talk, I'm gonna go right into the mac and cheese. There's a big debate or a fact that they say Jamaican people don't know how to make mac and cheese. I've heard it several times before. Very cheesy. This is an American sharp.
Most likely.
Try some.
It's good.
What cheese is this? American cheddar?
I think it's cheddar. It doesn't taste, maybe a mild sharp. I like that it's creamy. Because sometimes you get a mac and cheese that's dry. That's good. And even when she was scooping it out, you could see the pull of
The cheese pulling. Yep. Personally, I don't like when it's too wet. I like when it's too dry. One of my favorite mac and cheese is the one from Popeyes. When they make it good, they make it good. This one is it's nice, and I like the top.
Yeah. Me too. I like a mac and cheese that has a little bit of cream.
See that right there? That's the top part. Pretty good mac and cheese. So they got like a bunch of thighs. I don't know if they're gonna split the thighs open kind of to get like a more thorough fry. Because if you look there, you see it kind of split open. Sometimes when I fry chicken too, especially like the leg, you see like the meat start pulling off. But let's see. A little bit on the saltier side, but bursting with flavors, man. Bursting with flavors. I think when I make a fried chicken, it's a little bit more, you can taste more of the herbs. So I don't know exactly, but the crispiness on this is so good. So crispy, properly cooked. It's delicious, and you could tell like it's a southern fried chicken. You definitely tell it's a southern fried chicken. I want to try it with the mambo sauce though. That's what I want to try it with. Dip a little bit of mambo sauce on it. I've never had mambo sauce before. It's almost slightly fruity. What is it?
I don't know. I don't think this one is. It doesn't give me that might be the exact one. It's kind of watery too compared to what we saw in that video yesterday.
It's normally thicker.
Yeah, from that video, it's like more of a thickness, so it had a thicker viscosity, like for barbecue sauce. It's watery. It should be the best version of it. And probably different variations, you know?
Maybe because this sauce is kind of out for the open, so you pour it yourself, so
Very true.
they kind of lighten it up a little bit. But look at the skin on this. It's crispy. And surprisingly light. Like it's not a thick coat. Even though it says buttermilk, it's not very bready. It's exactly like how I like my chicken skin. It's not short in flavor. It's pretty, like, very, very savory. So, the fried chicken here with 2 sides, it's like $20, I believe. It's a heavy price if you ask me, but you are inside of, prices of things go up when you come to these specialized places, but here we got the pulled pork. A nice kind of mop sauce on it. Very smoky. Very tender. Not too fatty. Nice and lean. Melts in your mouth like butter, but not too easy. I like that. For me, cornbread is one of the most southern things I've ever seen. I don't know, something about, there's a movie called Soul Food. As a kid growing up. Mama. You guys know that movie, Soul Food, right? That was the first time I think I ever heard about cornbread. This one feels a little bit hard on the outside.
Yeah. I like my cornbread warm and soft.
Yeah, this one's not warm, but we've been talking for a little bit. Let's see.
Make it fun.
It depends on what you like, to be fair. This one is mostly like crispy. So the outer shell is pretty crispy. The inside is more granular. A little bit soft, but it's more granular. You know, with cornmeal, because it's cornmeal that makes cornbread, right? Or some form of corn. It's more of a harsher texture. It's not like flour that's, neatly milled. Personally, I've had better. What do you think?
I like it.
You like it?
I just wish it was warm. I like my cornbread hot. Or just warm. I like the outside to it. It's glistening too. Look how shiny that is. And inside is nice and soft. So I'm good. I like a nice honey cornbread with just like a tinge of honey to it, sweetness.
Just gonna wipe a little bit of butter on it here. You see, nice and buttery. You guys can see the texture and the consistency of it. Damn, I'm trying to figure out what's the best thing on the plate. I think your pork won for sure.
Really? Wow.
It's good.
Interesting.
All right, so was contemplating if we're gonna go to Benny's today, but on the wall we saw Benny's chili bowl. Well, Ben's chili bowl up there. So I'm like, yeah, all right, we're gonna pop by. If I'm hungry enough, definitely gonna have some of that. And yeah, ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna head out. All right, so we just made it over to Ben's. I'm not gonna stop saying this, but it's cold. You got on your mask because of the air. It's like, yeah, it's pretty cold. But I remember when we went out to Philly, I did read some comments, and some people were saying like we went to the more touristic section. So eventually, I definitely gonna go back out to Philly, and we're gonna check out some different stuff. However, remember to do the Yelp check-in thing.
Yes.
Because I do not want to forget it. So the side quest, you're a Yelp elite.
Yes.
You know, so everything, food and stuff like that. But I don't know if this is considered one of those touristic places or whatever, but it's one of those talked about spots whenever you come to Washington, D.C. Ensure that you check out Ben's. Now, they're known for the hot dog with the chili, the chili sauce on top. You did some research. What did you find out?
Got a historic history there. They've been here for decades now. I believe over 60
years. Yep.
Yeah, it was a married couple, and I believe the wife is still alive. The husband, Ben Ali, he was from Trinidad, and they started this business, and it's been a staple in the community for many years, standing up against a lot of important historical events like riots that have happened in the D.C. area in the past. They remain open during those times, so it seems to be a staple and well known.
Shout out to my boy Chris. So first of all, I wanted to get him on the video, but he dropped us, you know, he kept the car and everything and dropped us here. And he comes to Washington D.C. very often. And we did ask him like, yo, when you come to Washington, like where do you come to? And he did say Ben's. So it seems like a very popular spot. So we're gonna hop in right now. I am not hungry, but I'ma eat.
Yeah.
For sure, I'm definitely gonna eat.
Smoke, that's what it is. Smokes.
What happened?
They're smokes. That's what they're known for. They're chili smokes.
The chili smokes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna grab a chili smoke for sure. All right. So first-hand experience, I thought that there was gonna be more people on the outside, but obviously it's cold. So the outdoor area is, you know, is closed down. But then once you get inside, it's warm and there's a couple more people. Ooh, you see them dogs. The music in here is, I would say, very befitting. And what I did notice with the hot dogs, it doesn't seem like it's a very like a harsh fry. Like the heat under the hot dog is very slow. You know, so I think I kind of like that. A bunch of people now walking in, as you guys can see behind us there. But I kind of like it. I like the feel. It feels very dated. I like feeling like I walked into a place of history. Like we said, it's 60 plus years since it's been out. It smells kind of like nachos. It's not a very strong smell, but very dated type of feel. Not so crowded. And one of my favorite types of restaurants in New York is diners. I love going to a diner. It does have that kind of feel. Giggling like a child.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here. I just love the feel of it all.
Well, this is not your first time here.
No, so last time I came here was on a food tour, and we never got a chance to come inside. We were outside, and if I'm not mistaken, they had a window, and you just ordered from there. And then on a food tour, they determine what your menu is. So I believe we had chili, if we did, or even, it wasn't memorable, I'll tell you that much. So now to be here to choose what I want and to actually see it is just so beautiful. It feels like we walked into the 1950s lunch counter.
All right, so we got 2 spicy half smokes and 2 bottles of water. And this is what our bill looks like. It came up to $23, so it's basically like it's about like $8 per hot dog. And yeah, it was quick and fast service. It didn't take long. I mean, quite a few people came in, but it didn't take long to get the order. And what we ordered is like the most popular thing on the menu. So I'm excited to try. I quite like a nice chili dog, so very interested to see, you know, what it's like stepping back 60 years into something that's very authentic and unique to Washington D.C. And big shout out to the Trinidadian population for actually coming here and doing something big. right, so just got our chili dogs. It looks nice and wet and delicious. Comes with some ruffles, which is kind of cool. So at least you get some chips with it. And for those who need a knife and fork, it does come with that. I'm not using a knife and fork for this. All right, I'm getting ready to tear this up. Ooh, look at this dog. It smells spicy. I just tasted a little bit. It does taste spicy too. Oh my God. It's dripping all down my hand. Ooh. Oh.
That's spicy, boy.
He definitely was Caribbean. Shoot, it's a spicy hot dog.
Ooh.
I think it's a perfect amount of spiciness. Like it's spicy to the point. You know, when you would say something is like too spicy, it's like on the spice level for me it's like at an 8. So it means what it says. Because I've been to places before where they say it's spicy and it's not spicy. This is spicy. Yo, for me, this is a solid 9.5.
I can't get the words out.
It's so good. Where it has a nice bit of it's savory, but it's not too savory. It has a nice bit of tanginess that you get from the mustard. The sausage has a nice pop to it, like I mentioned before. You do taste the smokiness, but it's not a very strong amount of smokiness. You're getting most of the chili, which I love because it has a kind of a roughage to it. Like you can feel those little minced onions in there.
I'm not a real big fan of the onions, quite honestly. I love it. And it just tastes like plain. I don't know. There's no flavor, but the sausage is good. It tastes like when I want a sausage, that's what I want the sausage to taste like.
For me, I'm opposed because so normally when you cook an onion, it becomes sweet, but it's not cooked, and it gives I don't think it's cooked. But it gives you that spiciness from onions. When onions are not cooked, it gives you that nice spiciness. And I, on the other hand, I quite like it. It's like when you buy your burgers. Some burgers, they don't fry the onions on top or cook it. It's just like the raw onion. But I'm not getting that, for me, I'm not getting an onion pungent taste. It's more for texture for me. And it almost feels like, it felt kind of like rice grains inside of the chili, but it's not rice grains, it's onions. I like it.
Like even at McDonald's, you'll get the onions on the burger. You'll taste the onions, and those are dehydrated onions. I don't know if these are dehydrated. It was like fresh onions. But yeah, you're right. It's just giving texture. It's not really giving me.
It's mostly texture.
Yeah. At first, when I saw it, I thought it was sauerkraut. And I realized no, it's onion. But the sausage link itself is great.
I freaking love this. This thing got me sweating. I feel the sweat beating back here. It's cold outside. I'm definitely grabbing another of these bastards before I leave this. Oh my God. I'm sweating, bro.
I see that. Like really? Coming down.
You know when food is spicy for me when I start sweating.
Okay, hold on. He said he was cold. It was warm in here, but good.
If you look at the hot dog, you can see like the peppers, those red little chili flakes kind of, I assume, that's in there. It's so wet and juicy. And she done. I definitely recommend you come here. It tastes like something that's very unique. I love that about food. I've had chili dogs before, like at Nathan's and stuff like that. But something about it here tastes very... I don't even know what a home-style chili dog tastes like, but it tastes different.
Yeah.
Point blank. I think this is what a chili dog should taste like to me. My favorite type of hot dogs are the ones that, like movie hot dogs, when like the skin has a pop. So when you bite into it, like the outer skin just pops and like all those juices come out. I got exactly that. If you look right here on the table, that's all the juices that came with that hot dog. All right, so that was fun. Big shout out to Mo, because personally, Washington D.C. would have not been one of the first places on my list to go check out. But she's just like, yo, this is a place that she's been to and she quite loves. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just take a trip out to Washington and see what it's about. So far, the food, especially here, yeah, it's definitely something that I would recommend. If you live in New York and you're thinking of somewhere to come to, it's like a 3-hour train ride. You can just come over here in a day, try out Ben's, try out a couple other spots, and then head on back. Or you could just get a hotel room, whatever, Airbnb, and it's gonna be pretty cool. We're just gonna walk around for the rest of the night. Maybe there's some other spots that we could check out eventually, but for you guys, I'm gonna check you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's actually, yeah, I won't even tell you what tomorrow is, but I'll catch you on the next one, which is things, love, nature, and adaptation, and always remember to keep the lake.